The summer air was thick, not just with heat but with memory. Jeremiah had stopped talking much. He'd started doing this thing, just disappearing. Into his car. Into the ocean. Into his headphones. Anything that kept him from thinking too hard. But Conrad noticed. He always noticed. That was the thing about being brothers, even silence had volume. They hadn't spoken properly since the night everything blew up. Not since Belly left. Not since the wedding that didn't happen. It was easier to pretend things were fine than to say the truth out loud, that maybe they had both broken something that couldn't be fixed. Conrad stood in the kitchen, pretending to scroll on his phone, pretending not to watch Jeremiah slam the fridge door. Their dad used to do that when he was mad. That's how you know a Fisher boy is hurting, they don't cry. They crash. You sleep at all? Conrad asked, voice low. Jeremiah didn't answer right away. Just kept pulling at the Gatorade bottle like it owed him something. Finally, he muttered, "Why do you care?" It wasn't an innocent question. It was a challenge. A test. Maybe even a plea. Conrad didn't take the bait. You've been out every night. Driving around. Not talking to anyone. That's not nothing. Jeremiah laughed, short and cold. That's rich. You want to talk about running away? And there it was. The first crack. The first spark under the surface. The truth they'd both been dodging. I didn't run, Conrad said. I let her go. That's different. Jeremiah slammed the bottle down. You didn't let her go. You pushed her away. You always do that. With her. With me. With Mom. The room went quiet. Not silent, quiet, like the breath before a scream. Conrad looked down, fingers tightening around the edge of the counter. Don't bring Mom into this. Why not? She was the only one who actually saw me, Jeremiah snapped. You were too busy pretending to be the good son. The responsible one. Meanwhile, I was drowning, and no one noticed. There it was. The confession. And for a second, Conrad didn't know what to say. Because he had noticed. He just didn't know how to fix it. You think I had it easy? Conrad's voice cracked. You think I didn't want to scream every second of every day watching her get worse? Jeremiah looked at him then. Really looked at him. You just never let anyone see it. Conrad nodded slowly. Yeah. Because someone had to stay strong. But we didn't need strong, Jeremiah whispered. We needed real. Outside, the wind picked up. A storm was coming. You could feel it in the way the windows shook, the way the air thickened. And inside, two brothers finally stood in the wreckage they'd tried so hard to ignore. But this wasn't the end of the conversation. It was only the beginning. The storm outside wasn't just weather, it was a mirror of everything boiling inside the room. Jeremiah's eyes burned with something Conrad hadn't seen in a long time, raw, unfiltered pain. It wasn't anger anymore. It was something deeper, like a wound that wouldn't stop bleeding. I don't know how to fix this, Conrad said, voice quieter now, almost breaking. I'm tired of pretending, too. But running from it? That's all we've done. Jeremiah shook his head. You think I want this? To feel like I'm drowning every single day? I don't want to be the guy who can't hold it together. But I can't stop thinking about everything we lost. About her. About us. There was a flicker of something vulnerable in Conrad's eyes. You mean Belly? Jeremiah's lip trembled. Yeah. Belly. She was supposed to be different. She was supposed to stay. Conrad swallowed hard. Maybe none of this was supposed to happen. But that doesn't mean we stop trying. Trying? Jeremiah laughed bitterly. How? By talking? By pretending like it's just some phase? No, Conrad said. By facing it. By being honest for once. With each other. Jeremiah looked away, the fight draining out of him. I'm scared, Conrad. Scared that if we say it out loud, it'll all fall apart. Maybe it already has. The room felt smaller now, like the weight of everything was pressing down on them. But somewhere in that heaviness, there was a fragile thread, hope. Not the kind that fixes things overnight, but the kind that says maybe, just maybe, they could start to understand each other again. Jeremiah exhaled slowly, his voice barely above a whisper. I don't want to be the broken one anymore. Conrad took a step closer, his voice steady. You're not broken, Ja. We're just lost. But we can find our way back. Together. A crack of thunder rolled through the house, and outside, the storm was breaking, wild, relentless, but cleansing. Inside, two brothers faced the storm of their own making. And for the first time that summer, they weren't alone. The storm outside had settled into a steady rain, but inside, the silence between Jeremiah and Conrad was heavier than ever. Neither of them moved for a long moment, the weight of the things left unsaid pressing down hard. It wasn't just about Belly anymore. It was everything, years of hurt, misunderstandings, and missed chances. Jeremiah finally broke the silence. Do you ever wonder if we're just pretending? That maybe none of this, the anger, the distance, it's all just a way to hide how much we're hurting? Conrad looked up, eyes searching. Every day. Jeremiah's voice softened. I miss how things used to be. Before everything got so complicated. Before she left. Me too, Conrad said, voice quiet but steady. But we can't go back. All we can do is move forward. Together. Jeremiah laughed, but it wasn't bitter this time. It was tired, and a little hopeful. Sounds easy when you say it like that. It's not, Conrad admitted. But it's real. And real is what we need. There was a moment, just a flicker, where it seemed like maybe the walls they built around themselves were starting to crack. But then Jeremiah looked away again, a shadow crossing his face. Why did you always think you had to fix everything? Like you had to carry us all on your back? Conrad hesitated. Because someone had to. And maybe I thought if I kept everything together, none of it would fall apart. Jeremiah's voice was low. But it did fall apart. Conrad nodded, swallowing hard. Yeah. It did. The truth hung between them like the rain outside, steady, unrelenting. But for the first time it didn't feel like a wall. It felt like a bridge. Jeremiah reached out, hesitating before placing a hand on Conrad's arm. I'm scared, man. Scared we'll lose each other for good. You won't, Conrad said firmly. Not if we keep talking. Not if we don't give up. And in that moment, something shifted. Not everything was fixed, but something real had started. The summer had brought pain, loss, and distance, but maybe, just maybe, it was also the summer they began to heal. The rain outside softened, but inside, the air felt electric, tense with everything left unsaid, yet ready to explode. Jeremiah and Conrad stood close, but it felt like miles separated them, their unspoken pain hanging thick between them. Jeremiah's voice cracked when he finally spoke. You think I'm the only one hurting? You think it's easy for me to see you acting like you've got it all together when you're breaking inside too? Conrad's eyes widened, the shock of hearing Jeremiah's pain so raw and real catching him off guard. I'm not perfect, Ja. You're not the only one with scars. But it feels like I'm fighting alone, Jeremiah said, voice barely steady. Like I'm the one who got left behind. She was supposed to be mine. Conrad's breath hitched. Jeremiah, she loved you. But love isn't always enough. Sometimes, people walk away even when it hurts the most. The words cut deeper than either expected. Silence fell again, heavy and suffocating. But this time it was the silence of two people standing on the edge, ready to fall, or to finally catch each other. Jeremiah's eyes filled with tears he refused to let fall. I don't want to be the guy everyone thinks is broken. I just want. I don't know. To feel like I matter. Conrad stepped closer, his voice soft but certain. You matter. More than you know. And I'm here. Even when it doesn't feel like it. Jeremiah swallowed hard, the tension in his shoulders easing for the first time in months. Maybe we both needed to say that. Out loud. Conrad nodded. Maybe we did. The storm outside had passed, leaving the world washed clean but raw. Inside, two brothers stood in the quiet aftermath of their own tempest, closer, fragile, but still standing. The summer was far from over, and the road ahead wasn't going to be easy. But maybe, for the first time in a long time, they weren't walking it alone.